Friends, while today may seem like all hope is lost, it's not. While today may appear like a sure victory for those people whose thirst for power knows no limits and blinds them to their responsibilities to we the people, it is not. Today, January 20th, 2021, is the world's great awakening. Hundreds of millions of freedom-loving people around the globe now see and understand who our oppressors are. There's nothing they're not capable of. In my opinion, the Biden-Harris administration is corrupt. It's enabled by Communist Party sympathizers within the political establishments of both major U.S. political parties, federal agencies, and corporate America. They employ their agents in big tech, entertainment, and media to confuse the American voter, hiding information necessary to make informed election decisions. Hunter Biden's laptop and revealed Chinese, Ukrainian, Russian business dealings are relevant to the American voter. The vast alliance of powers that were united to hiding that story a week before the election is election interference and voter suppression, period. What in the hell is going on, folks? Why is the First Amendment being destroyed on social media? Why is relevant news being hidden? These are Nazi tactics employed to silence dissent. This is not the new normal I'm willing to accept, and I'm certain my oppressors won't return America to the America that I know and love willingly. We the people have lost trust in our elections, our leadership, and the so-called mainstream media, or as they've revealed themselves to be, the Marxist streaming media. I believe if elections aren't secured to the satisfaction of all Americans quickly, we won't have a functioning country in a short time. I encourage all parties that want this country to succeed to work together to make sure that election security is part of Biden's 100-day agenda. We can't survive another election like this, and we may not survive this one. I now dedicate my efforts to defend the country I love and the entertainment industry I've devoted my life to. I will fight to liberate our nation. I will fight to liberate our nation from democratic socialist CCP agendas, one family, one county, one state, one network, one social media platform at a time, until America is once again led by we the people. And if Democrats won't participate in election security reforms and protecting our First Amendment rights, then we the people will defend them. We will defend Lady Liberty for who she is, the world's best hope after God. Friends, I feel like I'm living in the middle of a Hollywood horror film right now. And I know many of you feel the same. There is something just not right. We can feel it. We can trust our guts. We know it. Trust it. The stakes are just too damn high not to. China currently engages in human population reduction measures. Forced abortions, forced sterilizations, limits on family size. Is it too far a stretch to consider that COVID-19 is being used as an extension of their already sinister population reduction policies? Is it too far a stretch to believe that radical environmentalists who have told me that they believe humans are like cancer on the face of the earth and need reducing are in agreement with them? Is it too far a stretch to imagine that COVID-19 is part of a larger plan for a great global carbon pollution reduction? A reduction in carbon pollution with us being the trash? I say it's not. Hollywood elites pleaded with the United Nations in 2014 at a climate change conference.
To be clear, this is not about just telling people to change their light bulbs or to buy a hybrid car. This disaster has grown beyond the choices that individuals make.
I feel like I'm living
It was the same people. He was a backup plan. He was their biggest threat, being the most conservative justice. Justice Scalia actually, I believe he found out about this, the plans, and he went to the White House like a week before his death. I believe he found out what they were trying to do. When they moved away from the overall attack of where these people lived, or they would attack around the holidays when more than one justice would be in their home, things like this. And again, Roberts was providing this, but they had to take him out. He was seen as their biggest obstacle. So the same basic group that was involved were given access to the ranch where he was found. They talked about how they did it. They had a couple different options, but it was discussed prior to his death, what they intended to do, where they could possibly do it, how they could do it, who they would need. The records are there at the Cibolo Ranch. One person was brought in as, there was 3 men. One person was brought in as a temp worker. The other 2, same team, were brought in as servants from a group that was there hunting. And they discussed how it was done, that they used DIMSO, dimethyl suboxide, which is a fairly inert chemical, just goes through your skin. But if you mix it with a poison or a drug or something like that, it'll go directly into your system and overload you. I believe that's why he was found with the pillow over his face. He was struggling to breathe. He couldn't breathe, he was choking. And this particular chemical you can tailor to the person. If they have a drug problem, you can put fentanyl in it and overdose them. If they have a heart condition, it would take very little to go directly in. It'd be like a direct injection into the heart. And they talked about how they did it, and Roberts is on the phone with these people discussing the successor. He wanted a say in it because now it was only going to be one person. He wanted to pick that person, and he wanted a say in who was going to take it. And of course, there was a lot of people that were talking about Eric Holder taking it, all kinds of people, but he wanted a say in who was going to take over Justice Scalia's spot. And I don't think he got it. I mean, obviously it didn't happen because President Trump was here. But he did want it, and this was all prior, the discussions and him complaining that he wasn't getting any say prior to his death, his sudden death. So it was well known. And
so aside from Roberts being waiting on this, did Rosenstein or anyone outside of the White House, had they been made aware of the plans, perhaps in Hillary's camp, that you could speak about?
Well, Hillary and Obama knew about it. I mean, it was supposed to be done under her watch, her first term, so that they could pack the court. They were fully aware of it. Rod has an intense hatred of Hillary, even though he worked with him when he had to. He's not fond of Obama, really. He's only fond of himself. But this was plans that they enacted through them, and Rod was integral in running the Hammer system through Baltimore,